Hey, folks, before we get into the show today, I want to remind you that Mother's Day is coming up. Do you know who your mom is? You remember your mommy, don't you? Do you tell her you love her? Do you tell her enough? Do you get her nice stuff? Don't mess this one up, people. Show mom that you love her and send her some flowers. We've got a great deal from Pro Flowers, so get some beautiful rainbow roses for mom and help support WTF in the process. You get a dozen rainbow roses in a free glass vase for only $19.99, and they're guaranteed to stay fresh for a full week. They actually just delivered me a sample vase of these gorgeous rainbow roses, and they're sitting in my kitchen, and they're nice. I'm not misleading you here. These are pretty roses. They'll make mom very happy. They'd make anyone happy. So go to proflowers.com, click on the mic, and type in the code WTF. And if you want to get a second dozen with the purple vase and chocolates, that's just $10 more. Yeah, purple vase and chocolates. Huh? Don't forget the other great mothers in your life. How about your wife, your grandmother, your sister, your daughter, even your mother-in-law? Come on, you know you like her. At least pretend you do. Order now and have them delivered to mom in time for Mother's Day. Call 800-PRO-FLOWERS or visit proflowers.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in WTF. That's proflowers.com. Click on the mic, type in WTF. Happy Mommy's Day. Come on, let her know you love her. Do it.
Lock the gate!
Are we doing this? Really? Wait for it. Are we doing this? Wait for it. How?
What the fuck?
WTF.
And it's also, what the fuck?
What's wrong with me? It's time for WTF.
What the fuck?
With Marc Maron.
All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers, what the fuck buddies, what the fucking ears, what the fuckalos? All right, enough. Enough. It can go on forever. Some kid in Texas just brought me a whole new list of them. I'm not encouraging this, but if you want to challenge yourself to figure out new what the fuck names, by all means do it. I am Marc Maron. This is WTF. We do have a interesting and amazing show, poolside chat with Chelsea Handler. I went to her house and sat by her pool and chatted with her about stuff. That was kind of cool. It's kind of interesting to be in Chelsea Handler's house. I didn't steal anything. I did go to the bathroom, and she did have one of those toilets that has buttons. I think it's a Japanese toilet. Gives you a lot of options. The seat's warmed, and that was in, like, the guest bathroom. So we're talking that level. We're talking warm toilet seats and bidet action, if you so choose. I didn't choose that. It makes me nervous. I wasn't quite sure how to use it, and since then I've experienced the squirting toilet that warms itself, and it's okay. You know, I don't know. I'm not, it's not my thing necessarily. It's nice, but whatever. That she had one of those. Okay, I don't need to go into it, but she had a very nice pool, and we had a nice chat. That'll be coming up in just a second. I don't know if you got it yet, but I just got mine, and they are fucking cool. The DVD of the first 100 WTFs on MP3 files. You've been asking for it. Some of you guys don't do the app thing. You don't do the iTunes thing. Here it is. All 100 of the first WTFs on MP3 with an additional live WTF in Brooklyn on video in one big, beautiful box set. I just got mine. I've been selling these things to you and I hadn't seen it yet, and I'm holding it, and it's fucking cool. I don't mean to brag, but it's my shit. I can brag. Go check it out. It's on the homepage at WTF Pod, right there in the right-hand column. It's also in the merch section of WTF Pod and in the premium section, or you can go to astrecords.com/WTF to order it directly. It's awesome. There's descriptions. It's awesome. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. Quick plug for me before I forget. Phoenix, Arizona. This week, this Thursday at Stand Up Live, I will be there for one night only. Come on down. Do that. It's going to be fun. That's that. I am back from Austin, Texas. The Moontower Comedy Festival was awesome. What a great time. Got to see a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while. Mr. Tom Rhodes was out there, who gets an honorable mention in today's show. Chelsea Handler gives Tom Rhodes an honorable mention in a very specific way. Who else did I see up there? Saw Stephen Wright. It was hilarious. I never seen him live before. I never sat through an hour and a half of Stephen Wright, and it was great to see him. But I'll tell you, I feel closer to him since I talked to him on this show, and I love the guy. He's such a sweet guy, and he's so funny, and he loves to laugh. And I walked into the hotel one night. It was the night before he was going to perform, and everybody was upstairs in this lounge hanging out, partying or whatever. And I just walk into the lobby, and there's just Stephen Wright sitting in a chair by himself, wearing a baseball hat, holding a toothbrush. That's the whole scene. Nobody else is around. He's just sitting there by himself. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why isn't someone hanging out with Stephen Wright? So I go over there. I'm like, what's up, buddy? He's like, hey, man, how you doing? And I'm like, you know how hilarious it is that you're just sitting here by yourself in your hat holding a toothbrush? And he said, I guess that is pretty funny, just me sitting here. And he started laughing. That guy's a sweetheart. He was great. I hope that festival keeps going because I tell you, they treated the comics well. The venues were great. Everything was well staffed. They had great parties and the transportation was good. It was just top notch. It was really one of the best festivals I had been to. And this is the first year for the Moontower Comedy Fest. And Austin is great. And it's great when it's not a huge clusterfuck like South by or whatever else goes on there that's huge. This was just the right size. And I, of course, did what I always do in Austin. I challenged myself to eat as much slowly cooked meat as I possibly could. That seems to be what you do in Austin. Could you turn your phone off, Mark? Sure, Mark. Why don't I get right on that? You've been doing this for over 2 years. You can't fucking get your shit together and turn your fucking phone off before you do the goddamn show. Hey, why don't you back off, man, and just shut up? This is getting weird, okay? We're talking to ourselves. Phone is off. Thank you. All right, shut up now. Hey, so, Austin. Slow cooked meat, smoked meat, barbecue central. That's what you do there. How much fucking meat can I shove into my dumb face? So I get there, and of course everyone's talking about this Franklin's barbecue. But you know when you hear about a barbecue place or any fucking restaurant for that matter, where the part of the description is, hey, it's great. You got to wait online for a day. You might have to camp out, but they have the best brisket. But that's if they don't run out. You know what that means to me? I'm going to check that restaurant off of my list. So I just said, you know, fuck you, Franklin's. I ain't going to do it. I know everybody loves you. Not going to do it. Then there's the other place, the guy who taught the guy from Franklin's how to cook his meat. The same thing. Might run out of meat. Best in the world. Got to get there early. I don't want to eat barbecue at 9 in the morning. I'm not going to do it. So fuck that too. So I went to my place that I usually go in Austin, Sam's Barbecue, which is in, I'm not going to say the hood. I'm going to go ahead and say the black neighborhood. Because I'm not going to play that game. Like, hey, man, I went to the hood. It is where it is. But it's like this place. It's in a house. I think I might have talked about it before. From what I understand, Sam's got into some trouble, and they had to close down for a while for smoking stolen meat. There are worse things. At least it was good meat. I'll eat stolen meat. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I got no beef with stolen meat. But I went over there, and it seemed like the love was gone. You know, I had some ribs, had some brisket. Had some mutton. It's the only place in the world I've ever had barbecued mutton. And if you have barbecued mutton, which is awesome, it's basically just a slab of burnt fat with one morsel of beautiful, succulent meat in the middle. But the rest of it was like, meh. I was a little upset, and I knew in my heart that I probably wouldn't be going back there. So here's where it gets kind of dicey. Part of the thing about looking for the best barbecue is you want to have the place that nobody else knows about. You want to discover the best barbecue. You want to be able to go, really? You've never heard of that place? Well, that's weird because it's the best fucking barbecue I ever ate at in my life. I didn't think I was going to find that, but by a weird series of events, I was hanging out with this dude, Josh, from Rolling Stone magazine. And I did some interview for Food Republic, and I was talking about going to Sam's, and some woman, a large woman in a wheelchair, after I was talking about barbecue, said, you got to go to Opie's. You got to go to Opie's in Spicewood, Texas. And I was like, wow, that sounds, what's Opie's? And Josh, who grew up in Austin, was like, I don't know what Opie's is. And I'm like, fuck, man, she looks for real. She looks like she's eaten way too much barbecue in her lifetime. And no, she's like, they got the big pork chops. They got everything. And I'm like, we got to take this ride. How far is it? 40 minutes. And we started asking people, you ever heard of Opie's? No one fucking heard of it. Spicewood. Had to go out to Spicewood, Texas. So we take this drive and we come upon, there's nothing, no real stores around, just Opie's Barbecue. Beautiful sign. And I'm like, holy shit, man, I'm feeling good about this. And we walk in, and right when you walk in, you're greeted by a guy, comes up, he goes, you want to see your meat? And I'm thinking, that's kind of forward. Well, I guess he didn't say see my meat, and I don't want to be a bad jokester here, but I'm like, what? And he's like, then he just opens up this long cylindrical tank right next to the door, flips it open, and in there is all the different meats they got. all smoked out, man. It was an open casket barbecue place. You could see they had the pulled pork, they had the beef ribs, they had the pork ribs, they had the brisket, they had the pork chops, which were like, they look like they must have been a pound or 2 pounds each, 3 inches thick. We're like, fuck yeah. They had the sausage. Holy shit. Loaded up. Got some sausage, got a pork chop, got beef ribs, got brisket. Bam. Loaded that shit up. Sat down there and just started shoving beef into our face. It was unbelievable. I'm telling you, man, it's Monday. I'm still processing that stuff. I don't want to give you too much information, but I'm still digesting meat. It might go on for a while. But here's what happens. And this was a feeling that I had. You know, when you obviously you're going to get too much barbecue. And this stuff was amazing. The brisket was amazing. It was really the best I ever had. And I loved the fact that nobody really knew about it. That you had to travel. It was out of the radar. It wasn't Lockhart. It wasn't Salt Lick. It wasn't Franklin's or Mueller's. It was Opie's. Where the fuck's that Spicewood, bro? All right. Highway 71, man. Okay. So there we were, overextended. We'd shoved all the meat we could in ourselves. You know, we're trying to just sitting there like, oh, man. Well, we got to take a break, man. I think I'm done. You got to burp to make room for cobbler. They had cobbler and that Blue Bonnet ice cream or whatever. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But there was this moment where I'm looking down at like 2 or 3 beef ribs. That was it. That's all that was left. Just beef ribs and grizzle. And that was all that was left. But we were so stuffed and it was like horrifying. Those 3 beef ribs just sitting there and I couldn't quite identify the feeling. And I realized it's really pretty much the exact same feeling you have. I don't know if you've had this feeling where you have sex with somebody that you probably shouldn't have to begin with, and now they're still in your room. Maybe that's a specific feeling to travelers, road performers and whatnot, but there's that moment where you're like, you finish and you're like, oh, man, can I call these ribs a cab? Can we get a cab for these ribs? I'm starting to hate myself. But we made room for cobbler. And I've never had this experience. Me and this kid, Josh, who I don't know that well, we're about to share some sort of weird gastronomical puke frenzy in the car. It wasn't that we were nauseous. We were actually filled up. But I mean really filled. I mean, I was filled up to just below my esophagus. Like, I didn't know if I was going to puke because my body was just going to reject what I had done to it. I felt bad, but I felt good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Hey, look, folks, I already told you about our Pro Flowers deal for Mother's Day, but if flowers aren't your mom's thing, you can send her huge chocolate-dipped strawberries from Sharri's Berries. You could just burp and make room for them. It's a callback to the barbecue bit. Go to berries.com, click on the mic, and type in WTF. These are big, fresh, juicy strawberries dipped in white, milk, and dark chocolate. They're topped with chocolate chips, chocolate swirl, or nuts. Tell your mom or your wife thanks for everything she does, and eat these beautiful things. You can order these berries now and get them delivered for Mother's Day. Get an order of Sharri's Berries for $19.99. They're huge. Got them in the fridge. They sent me some samples. Nice-looking berries. Good-looking chocolate. Call 866-FRUIT-02 or go to berries.com. That's BERRIES.com. Click on the mic in the top right corner and type in WTF. This is a limited-time offer, so take advantage of it now. Big old berries dipped in chocolate. Oh, speaking of that, speaking of sweet, let's talk to Chelsea Handler, poolside at the Chelsea Handler Estate. Hey, doggies. Hey, doggies. What's going on? Cats. Smell cats? Yeah? Okay.
Are you a baby? Hi. You are back.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
This is Shelly, Mark.
Hi, Shelly.
Hi, Shelly. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Nice to see you. Mwah. Sorry, I hope you
Pretty
aren't
hot.
waiting.
Not too long.
Hi. Hi, baby. Are you big fat babies? I had to take a picture of that guy working on his that motorcycle outside.
Whose motorcycle is
I
that?
don't know. Oh, Shelly.
Oh.
She's a lesbian.
Oh, okay. That explains the motorcycle?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
How you doing?
Good. Where do you want to do this?
I don't know. You want to go outside, or you need? Is that bad for noise?
No, I think we can go outside. Great house. Did you build it?
No, we remodeled it a bit. I mean, we're still in the process of like doing the exterior and stuff, but and the outside. But we just broke down all the walls and kind of, did some work on it. But no, it was built.
Has there ever been a time where all 7 of those chaise lounges had people in them?
No, and that's what everyone says every time they look over there. They're like, "What the fuck is the point of that?" It's like a mini hotel, I guess. No,
it's like
it's never been.
It's like
but
Hollywood
I like
Party.
hotel living, so I like to feel like I live in a hotel.
Sure. Okay. There. You remember? You've held mics like that before.
Yeah, I have.
I think the last time we ever really hung out for any real reason was we shot our Comedy Central Presents on the same night.
Oh, yeah?
Don't you remember?
What theater was
Come
that?
on.
Yeah, I remember
the
that.
Hudson Theater.
Oh, yeah.
In New York.
Uh-huh.
You were wearing a long dress.
I was? That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like me.
I know, you were wearing a long dress.
During my set?
Yeah.
No.
Come on.
No way. I was never wearing a dress during stand-up. I've never done such a thing.
All right, now we're going to have to we're going to have to Google it.
I believe, Google it. How much do you want to make a bet? I was not wearing a dress.
What do you think you were wearing?
Jeans and a shirt, maybe, or maybe nice pants. I dressed like a real tomboy when I was doing stand-up, purposely.
But
I
that
didn't
was
want to
too-
look like a woman.
But that was 2006. So it was like, you were
That was
already...
before I crossed over.
It is?
Before I got my...
Before you became the glamorous...
That was before I crossed over in my transgender surgery and became an official woman. It was when I was still a man/horse.
Yeah, no, all right. Maybe I'm remembering it
You're not
wrong.
even... we probably weren't even filming on the same night. You're not even remembering.
We were filming on the same night, unless you were a different person. I know we were filming on
I
the
was
same
a different
night.
person. Another person that you filmed with that probably wasn't me.
No, maybe you just don't remember it. Maybe you're blocking that whole thing out.
I remember that filming that at Comedy Central.
But you don't
Presents.
remember being part of it at all? We did it on the same
I just
night.
don't remember wearing a dress.
Was the goal to be a comic?
Are we recording now?
Of course we're recording. I'm not gonna.
I'm like, how long is this small talk going to go on for?
This is all it is. The whole thing is small talk. You think I have an agenda here, other than to not be afraid of you and perhaps charm you for a second? Every time I run into you, I feel like I make a fool out of myself.
Really?
Well, I saw you at the doctor's office. I spit my lozenge out of my mouth, and it landed right on my arm.
Oh, that's embarrassing. I don't remember that at all.
You don't
see?
seem to remember anything. It's
I
great.
get-
You live
yeah.
a great life. What is the secret to not remembering anything?
I don't know. I guess this was a lot of drinking. I don't remember you spitting the lozenge. I do remember seeing you at the
I
doctor's
saw you at the
office.
doctor's office. I was like, oh my God. And then, I was talking to you, and this, I have nicotine lozenges, and it just shot right out of my mouth. On
Why,
my
did you
arm.
quit
And
smoking?
I haven't smoked in 10 years.
Oh, good for you.
But I eat the lozenges constantly. Do you smoke?
Well, I did last night. Do you know what I did last night? We were
No.
here, and I smoke sometimes when I drink.
Yeah.
And
so every day?
No.
Come on.
No, I actually can't. I don't like to drink because I like to smoke when I drink. So I only drink, like a couple nights a week actually. And last night I had like a business meeting here. I mean, I wouldn't call it business, just people from work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that qualifies as business, but they came over.
How did they feel about it? Were they
thought
frightened?
They probably thought it was
watching their
business.
mouths?
They probably thought it was business. No, nobody's frightened around me. They know what the deal is.
What is
So-
the deal, Chelsea?
Well, the deal is we had a couple glasses of wine, and then my friend Shelly, who lives with me, they left, and we started playing ping pong, and then we put in that movie Like Crazy, and then at around 1 a.m, I decided I wanted a cigarette.
Yeah.
And so we called yummy.com. Do you know yummy.com?
I don't.
Okay, well, they're a delivery service. And
They'll deliver anything?
Well, they will, but not to Bel Air. They deliver to Santa Monica and to West Hollywood. So finally I called them back and I said, I will give you $500 if you bring me a pack of Capris. And they're like, what are Capris? I'm like, they're for Russian hookers and we need a pack of Capris and I will give you $500. And they said, okay, do you have the money in cash? I said, yes, I do. And I got off the phone and Shelly said to me, you could have just said 100. Like they would have come. She's like, why do you always have to make it 500? And on top of that, I didn't even have my wallet here. It's at work. So I didn't even have the money. And so she had to use her money.
So you paid the guy $500?
$500 for cigarettes.
And that's all you asked for?
Yeah, cigarettes. A pack of cigarettes.
You are living the rare life.
I know, that's a really embarrassing story.
It's
but,
pretty good.
But you're the first to hear it. So.
Oh, I'm going to break news. Chelsea Handler pays $500 for Capris.
For Russian hooker cigarettes.
Why are they Russian hooker cigarettes? Those
They're
weird
like-
thin ones?
Yeah, the really skinny ones.
But did you ever assume you would be here? Did you always know you would be sitting in the house like this? Was that always like? Because I don't really know you that well, and I interviewed you once before on Air America, and I don't think it went well.
Well, you don't seem to think anything went well, judging from everything that.
I thought you looked lovely that night where I pictured you in a dress, and
I think you're the one with the memory problem, not me. It sounds. The more we talk, the more it's becoming clear.
I know you were wearing a dress.
I was never. There's no way I did stand up in a dress.
When I interviewed at Air America, you looked tomboyish and kind of rough. But the night we did the Comedy Central Presents, you were wearing a dress. Ow. All right, I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Stop biting me.
But how long did you do stand-up? And was that the goal? Did you not know you were going to end up here?
No, I don't. The goal was never even to do stand up. I think I ran out of ideas. So, but the goal was always to live a really nice life. That was kind of my main focus.
So any way you could do that?
I was just like, listen, I've got to figure out a way that I can have everything that I want.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to be, creative about it. So.
And you chose stand up?
I chose stand up because I didn't want people writing my material for me.
Yeah.
I would audition and I was like, these lines are so stupid and embarrassing.
Aren't they?
Yeah, and it was really, I'm not really, I wasn't good at that, auditioning. I would get really nervous and make an ass out of myself, like you seem to do on a regular basis.
Sure. Isn't that part of our job?
And
I mean, you seem to be this rare comic that doesn't make an ass out of herself. You just bust balls.
Well, actually, you're kind of right. I really don't make an ass of myself. Now that you said that, I'm going to knock on this wood table right there because that's all I need is to falling down drunk at a hotel or something and have that. No, I don't. I usually try to make an ass out of myself at private affairs like my house or other people's homes.
Sure.
I don't
paying
do it.
$500 for cigarettes.
Yeah.
till 3
Yes,
in the
exactly.
morning.
Like if someone else would have gotten in their car and driven drunk and then gotten a DUI for cigarettes.
Yeah.
At least I'm smart enough to know not to get into my car.
Right. And that you paid that guy.
I'm sorry. This dog is biting the shit out of me. Stop it. That doesn't feel nice.
But you play up the drinking? I mean, do you drink a lot?
No, everyone. I just
Everyone
talk
makes
about
an
drinking,
assumption.
so they
Right.
assume that I'm drunk all the time, which is absurd. Obviously, I could never do what I'm doing if I was drunk all the time.
No.
Yes, I like to party, but I don't come home and get fucked up at 3:00 in the afternoon or every night for that matter. I don't drink Mondays through Wednesdays is my deal, and usually
3 days?
I try to make it to Friday.
Oh, good.
Most of the time I do make it to Friday, but if I have like a dinner that's going to be unbearable, like
Yeah.
a business dinner with
Right.
someone like my attorney or
Yeah.
something, and I have to drink because
Right.
otherwise I can't even suffer through that.
But you came from what, New Jersey?
Yeah, Livingston.
I know where Livingston is. My
Do you?
family's. Yeah, my mother came from Pompton Lakes and Wayne. I know Livingston.
I know where Wayne is.
I
I
lived in Wayne for like a couple of years when I was very young.
Okay.
But what was your
Did
background?
you embarrass yourself there?
Sure, I embarrassed myself the whole way. I'm a very insecure, embarrassable guy.
Do you have kids?
I don't have any kids. Do you?
No.
All right. What's the problem with that?
Well,
Why
I
do you
just
look at
was
it like
wondering,
that?
like, if you have kids and you're and this insecure, like how that would effectuate your children.
Well, I think my insecurities led me not to have children. I'm that insecure.
But you're married.
No, I've been married twice. I'm not married right now.
Oh, you're not married.
No.
Oh. I pictured you married.
No, I'm not married. Look, I fucked up my life.
God bless you. Sorry, that's a dog for listeners who are wondering why I keep saying don't
So
bite me.
suburban New Jersey.
Yeah.
And what kind of? You're not Jewish, though.
Yeah.
You are Jewish. You were brought up Jewish.
Yeah, I was raised Jewish. I was bat mitzvahed.
Really?
Uh-huh.
You don't look Jewish.
I know. Well, I mean, my hair isn't naturally blonde,
Oh.
if that helps. My
But-
mom used to call me Shiksa.
Because
Shiksa
she's not
face.
Jewish?
Well, my mom wasn't Jewish, but we were raised Jewish, and my mom would always say, like, she would always grab my nose and say, "You have a Shiksa nose. You have a Shiksa nose. You don't look like a Jewish girl at all."
Was that proud? Was she angry that she had to raise you Jewish?
Probably. I thought my mom was Jewish until I was like 10.
What was she?
She was Mormon.
Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here. Come
she was
on.
Mormon. My
like,
mom's
really?
Yeah, but she kind of suppressed it because my dad was like, "We're not raising our kids Mormons, so you better
How
get
the
that."
hell does a Jew meet a Mormon person?
She's German. She was from Germany. She was over here on traveling, like one of her relatives. And
Was she on a mission from? Oh, she was a
no,
German
she wasn't
Mormon.
like a practicing Mormon.
Oh.
She only got into Mormonism actually really like late in her life, so it was kind of unbearable to listen to.
Do you have cousins in Utah?
Probably. I have cousins that are Mormon that I avoid.
Really?
Definitely. They're not in
kinda trippy,
Utah
right?
though.
I was just in Utah, and there's that weird moment where if you meet a Mormon in real life, you're like, "Holy fuck, who's a Mormon?" Then you go
Are
there.
you sober?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Why?
what the problem is. Because I was just trying to figure out when you said you weren't married, and then you really screwed up your life. I figured you must be sober because you must have had a serious drinking problem.
I did all right.
That makes sense. Everything's making sense now.
No, but I mean, I was sober when I lost the second wife.
You were?
Yeah.
What happened?
I was an asshole.
Why?
What do you mean? You don't know what it feels like to the satisfaction of being an asshole? I would think if anybody that you would appreciate
In
that.
a relationship?
Sure.
No, I don't treat people badly in relationships.
Ever?
No, I get pissed off.
Yeah.
And then if I'll walk away, but I don't treat people badly. Like I don't, you know.
You don't carry a grudge?
I don't like
You're not-
emotionally abuse. Oh, well, yeah, if I'm pissed at someone's behavior, like if they're inappropriate, I just cut it off. I'm like,
Right.
that's it. We're done. But no, I mean, I never was like emotionally abusive to a relationship.
Never?
No, I'm very respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess guys are better at being assholes than girls.
I don't know. I mean, when I watch your show, which I do,
That's embarrassing for you.
it
It's
is a
another
little
way
difficult.
for you to embarrass yourself.
Well, I'm just trying to cop to it. I mean, I'm not saying I watch it all the time because you don't have me on it, but I watch it.
You could come on it anytime you want. Of course.
Will you treat me like shit and yell at me?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's usually how it goes.
I'm just trying to figure out. So when did you leave New Jersey? What did that look like? What were you like in high school? Were you like a bully? Were you mean? Come on, you have to have been.
No, I mean, I'm sure I did. I got bullied a lot.
For what?
For
being a half Jew Mormon?
No, for everything. I mean, girls were nasty growing up. I was put through hell.
You were not the nasty girl.
No, I was definitely nasty to people at times, yes. But
Okay.
I was definitely, I mean, I switched schools at one point because the girls were so mean to me. I mean, the senior girls.
What was the angle of the meanness?
Well, I hooked up with a senior guy when I was a freshman. I made out with him or something.
Yeah.
And that caused a huge stir. And so then all the senior girls hated me, and that was horrifying. I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't even.
So you got the sweat
Yeah,
moniker?
well, that. But I mean, I didn't even sleep with him. You know, I didn't even do anything.
Well, you don't
But-
have to in high school.
No, you don't. Not that, but I guess, someone, he was like, I don't know, whatever. But they were, I had my share of bullying. I know what it's like to be. I don't think of myself as a bully. I mean, I'm not a bad person. I know a lot of people probably do. But I mean, the show is so stupid that I do. It's not like it's serious. I mean, it's so dumb. It's not like it's actually hurting anybody. I would never do any or wish harm on anyone or do anything
Yeah.
bad spirited. I'm so not that person.
No one with 3 dogs is that person.
No, right. That's actually really good. You know what I was saying to my friend the other day? I was like, you know what? I said, you can tell the character of somebody if a dog walks by and whether they look at it or just completely ignore it.
Right.
Like if a dog runs, there's a person that completely has no interest in a dog.
Right.
And I'm not a big animal person. I mean,
But you like your dogs.
Well, I mean, I like my dogs.
Right, I'm the same way. I have cats. Don't even
Really?
say anything.
Okay.
What? I travel a lot. I can't
Well,
afford people
I don't have
to watch
to say
my
anything
dogs.
because you're already embarrassing. You're expounding upon it.
I'm not embarrassed about it. I own it. I talk about it constantly. I am not like a cat guy. I just have cats.
Is this your main source of income, this show?
No, I do the stand-up. I'm writing a book.
What are you writing a book about? Your life?
Sure. Things, essays.
And you go on the road still?
I go on the road more now than ever because this thing has kind of changed things around. It's very popular. About 300,000 people will download this.
How many?
300,000?
Okay, well, tell me. I'll tweet about it.
No, we're definitely going to do that. We're not done yet.
I know.
You're
I'm just
you're
saying.
closing my show already.
Do you edit this or you just air the whole thing?
We'll see. If it's really horrible, I'll probably edit it.
Okay, well, if you talk anymore, we'll just get worse. So why don't you start asking some questions?
I've been asking you questions the whole time.
Oh, sorry. I know. I ask a lot of questions to people. Sorry. I get discursive.
Well, I mean, when you did stand-up, I mean, how much stand-up did you really do? I mean, how many years were you doing it when you were touring?
Well,
were you ever a draw as just a stand-up before the shows?
Yeah, I was headlining before I got my show.
Yeah.
Clubs and stuff. I did I started doing stand-up when I was 21. I did my first week on the road with Zach Galifianakis and Dave Attell in San Francisco at the Punchline, which
That's
was
an interesting
the
mix.
funniest week of my life.
So what?
But
How
I
was
was
that?
really bad.
Was that Attell headlining?
Yeah, and Zach was middling and I
Wow.
opened. I was really bad.
Yeah.
But I got good. I mean, it takes a long time to get good at stand-up. It
Yeah.
takes a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't get good until I had to until I was headlining, until I didn't have an hour until I had to have an hour. I was kind of
So what was that? About 6 years in, or?
I was probably.
Because I don't think people know you as a stand-up, which I think is odd.
Oh yeah, I went on the road all the time. I mean, I didn't do it like Attell or any of those guys did it. But I went on the road. I mean, I stayed at those horrible motels and
Did you sleep with
in
fans?
Sacramento at the Punchline and
at the Arden
in
Arden Mall?
Cincinnati and Cleveland and. Yeah, no, I've been on the road for years at
Yeah.
a time. I mean, and with the last 2 tours I did were books, so those were, I mean, that's flying
are
in
sweet,
and doing
yeah.
a 5,000 seat theater, which
Right.
is obviously what you've always dreamed of when you start to do stand up. So that's, I mean, I've been on the road obviously for, collectively. I mean, that's obviously not like, sowing my oats. That's
right. No, that's the payoff. Right. Yeah.
But before that, yeah, I would go and you don't even make money. You're spending money to go do stand up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because you make so little, being like middling, Jeff Wills, right?
Yeah, of course.
He's the one who would put me on the road and like.
Well, he had faith in you. Do you still work for them?
Yeah, I did all my touring with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a picture of him with his shirt off somewhere in that room. We go on vacations.
He's got a good eye. Got a good eye, that Wills.
Well, he just likes women because,
But he also seems to have a good sense of who's going to be big and who isn't.
Yeah, he does, actually.
Yeah, no
he
does.
Doubt. He's got, he introduced me to Attell. I hung out with Attell last week at the Comedy Cellar.
He seems good, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. He's
all
good,
sobered
yeah.
up and
he's sober,
kinda,
so he's fucking
his hair
boring,
is long.
But yeah,
Oh,
you
really?
guys should hang out, and yeah.
We do occasionally.
The good thing about him is he doesn't talk about his sobriety. I appreciate that.
Does he talk much at all?
No.
Yeah. It's not like
he's
you're
always
gonna...
on his way in or way out.
Yeah.
Like even when you're sitting down with him, it's like you're waiting for him to leave.
Oh yeah, because you're like, hey Dave. He's like, what?
Yeah.
And then it's over.
He's probably my favorite comedian of all time.
Did you, when you toured with him, was he nice to you?
Yeah, he was always nice to me. He was drinking back then, so he was mean drunk, but like I loved him anyway. I mean, I had like a crush on him when I first started because he's like the funniest,
he's great.
guy.
Yeah, sure.
And so he would have me open for him at Caroline's.
Uh-huh.
When I was in New York, he threw me a bunch of gigs actually, but we never slept together or anything.
No,
I don't think.
Did you ever sleep with any comics?
Yeah, one. Tom Rhodes.
You slept with Rhodes?
Yeah.
How was that?
10 years ago.
Oh, good for you.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I think I slept with him twice. I think
in San Francisco or
no, we were in San Francisco.
Yeah.
We were in San Francisco. He was at Cobb's, the old Cobb's.
Right, the great Cobb's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never performed there, but I was at the Punchline,
yeah.
and I guess we went out after. I don't know if I knew him or I may have met him that night. I guess, and we ended up going back to his hotel room. We had like amazing sex.
Oh, he'll be happy to hear that.
Then we met up in L.A. like months later. He was coming to L.A. and he called me, and so I went down to the Improv, and we went up to get he had a car. Like I grew up with a used car dealer for a father, so if I'm embarrassed by a car, like this car was just the worst. I mean, it was the
one of his caddies. What is it?
Yeah, it was
caddy?
Like it wasn't even like an old caddy, like a good caddy.
Yeah.
It was like in between being like a classic and not
right. The
and
shitty
not
years.
good at all.
Yeah.
And so we went, and I think it was his father's car or something.
Yeah.
I mean, the story. And then we went to the Hyatt on Sunset to get a room. And he was asking for a room with a view. And I'm like, we're not going to look out the view. Like, what are you doing? And it was the worst, most awkward sex ever. So you go from like having the best sex, and it's like don't go to a good restaurant 2 nights in a row because it's never going to live up to your expectations. Like we should have just let it alone and never seen each other again. But instead, and then I think we tried again one more time after that because we couldn't like wrap our minds around
that it was
the
so
idea
bad
that
the second time.
The sex was so bad.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we must have been so high or so fucked up when we did have sex, that we thought it was so amazing. And the next, I think we tried like twice, and it was just a debacle of epic proportions. And I haven't seen him since.
He's doing all right.
No, but every once in a while, Jeff Wills will send me a picture of him and go, "Do you remember your lover?" He's the only comedian I've ever slept with.
Well, I guess that's an honor, being that you know so many comedians.
An honor for him.
Yeah.
Honor for him.
He wins the Chelsea Prize.
Yeah, I guess.
How did you manage not to fuck a lot of comedians being around comedy songs? I guess if you're a stand-up and you're a woman, you can't be fucking everybody.
Well, no. I mean,
because then you're not a comic. You're a comic fucker.
Well, then, but it's not even like you're really attracted to comics when you're a comic. I mean, who wants to date another comic? I mean, how annoying. I'm already so annoyed by myself. It's not like, like I would want to.
You know us too well?
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine what the psychological foundation of a male comedian is.
You can't?
No, I mean, I can, and I don't want anything to do with it. It sounds awful. I'm not like negative like that. Like
sure.
I'm not negative. I'm not an overthinker. I don't I'm much more simple. So that kind of energy really brings me down.
So your dad was a used car dealer?
Uh-huh. Well, he thought he was he liked to refer to himself as a car dealer.
Right.
And then people would get confused. I would never say used car dealer when I was growing up because I was embarrassed.
Right.
But now I realize.
So you always had a car, just a shitty one?
Well, we had like 18 cars. That was the problem in our driveway.
Was that his lot?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. He didn't have any like place of business. He would park cars down the street, at office buildings or in neighbor,
He'd meet people in parking lots to sell cars?
Yes, exactly. He's pretty embarrassing
And
person.
did your mom work?
She worked on occasion. I guess when things were really strapped, she would get a job, but like as a private nurse, and she didn't really work that much. They were home all the time. It made no sense.
How many sisters and brothers do you have?
6 of
That's
us.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're the we're
Youngest.
Oh my God. So you had to fight
Well, my
for
brother
your...
should be around here somewhere. Was he not here when you got here?
I don't know. Does he work here?
No, he lives here.
Okay. How many people live at your house?
3.
Oh, okay.
My brother, my Shelly, who's my like a really good friend. She
Yeah.
moved out here from Dallas when I got this house.
Yeah.
She helped design it, decorate it.
It's great. It's beautifully decorated.
I know, thank you. She helped, and then my friend Brad Wallach, who's on the show, his wife helped a lot, and she has girls, Ashley and Brittany, that helped, and she was in a lesbian relationship, so the lesbians moved out here when I was looking for a house. I was living in somewhere else, and I was renting a house, and I was looking to buy, and so they both moved out here, and then they broke up, and so I got custody of Shelly, and the other one's back in Texas.
Wait, so which brother lives with you?
My brother Roy.
Where is he on the...
He's the second born.
Okay.
So my mom had 3 boys. And
Does
then
he work for you?
He's the chef on the show. He cooks for the show, and he cooks for us.
So being the youngest of 6 kids, I mean, did you have to fight just to have any identity at all? Is that why you're like this angry kind of tough girl?
Yeah, I'm very angry. No, I don't.
You're not?
No, I'm not
Okay.
angry.
All right.
You want me to be angry?
I do.
Yeah, I think everyone does. No, I'm not angry. I just don't care. That's the thing. Yeah, I had to fight for attention. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I was like, the center of I was like the center of my family's universe. And then so I was the youngest, and I was like, had blonde hair, and I was, cute. And so I got attention, and I wanted it more and more and more and more and more and more.
Were you beat up by 5 siblings?
No, I hung out with my brothers
Yeah.
a lot. I was very close to my brother. Not this one as much. My other brother, Glenn, growing up, we hung out all the time. And he was 10 years older than me, but he would take me to work with him. He would take me to because I was just a loudmouth, and they got a kick out of it. When I was 7 or 8, it was really funny. Now it's just obnoxious. When I was talking like this at 7 or 8, which I was, people were like, "Oh my God, look at this girl.
She's a
She's
genius."
spunky and ridiculous." I would just nail people to a wall. His friends that were in college would come home. I'd be like, "What's wrong with your outfit? You look like an asshole." And people would just think it was so funny. So they gave me license to continue behaving this way. But my brother died. I had a brother who died. So that's where the whole attention void came from, because I got all this attention, and then it was stripped away, because when my brother died, everybody in my family was just super ruined from it. So then all of a sudden, no one was paying attention to me. So my reaction to that is obviously what led me to
entertaining,
to what I'm doing now. Yeah.
The envy of the attention of your brother's passing.
Mm-hmm. People are like, "Do you go to therapy?" I'm like, "No, I can pretty much figure out what happened."
He died, and all of a sudden I wasn't important.
I'm like, "Yeah, I pretty much can glue it together without."
What happened? How did he die?
He fell. He was hiking in Wyoming in the Grand
God.
Tetons, and he fell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, really bad, horrifying.
Yeah.
So that was bad.
How long ago was that?
I was 10, so 25 years ago. 26 years ago.
Did your parents bounce back from it eventually?
No,
Or never.
Never. My mom did. My mom. That's when my mom went and got religious.
Oh, that's when she got more Mormon? But she's already Mormon.
She was Mormon, but she then she started going to church, and she got really religious. And then, my dad, no. I mean, that's it. It was there for my oldest brother. He was the firstborn.
Oh,
so
God.
that was really, bad for them.
Right.
My dad was really screwed up for the rest of his life.
He's not with us anymore?
He's here. Yeah,
Oh.
I just saw him last week.
Yeah.
He's,
Does he live out here?
He lives in New Jersey. I was home.
You were?
Uh-huh.
When you go home, are you do you have a key to the city? Are you like the Princess of Livingston?
Well, I don't really hang out in Livingston because everyone lives outside of the cities.
Right.
Like my brothers and sisters all live in New Jersey.
They do? That's amazing.
Yeah.
So did you grow up going to Willowbrook Mall and shit?
Yeah, totally. Short Hills and Livingston Mall.
Paramus Park? Ever?
No, Paramus, no.
That's far.
Yeah.
I don't have a good
I know
sense of-
Willowbrook and
Willowbrook was the original mall.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to love malls.
Yeah, hell yeah, just spend the day there with your
now
friends, right?
They gross me out.
Yeah, it's
And
hard.
California has the nicest malls, and I just
It's so
they
bad.
give me anxiety. Just
Yeah.
parking is so annoying.
No, I know. It'll stop you from doing almost everything.
I
Driving
know.
things.
Like
we're
the
going-
Grove. The Grove.
No, can't
When
do
people
it.
mention the Grove,
Yeah.
I cringe.
Yeah. So what do you do? Where do you shop?
I don't really.
You just have people bring in things to the
Kind
office?
of.
That's good.
Well, I
No.
mean, I know it sounds awful, but
Yeah.
I don't really have time for any of that because I work all the time. So it's not like I go shopping. I was in New York last week and I went shopping.
Yeah.
But I don't really go. There's people.
Did you do any of the shows? Did you do Letterman or anything?
In New York?
Yeah.
No, I did Howard Stern. I did morning stuff.
Yeah.
I did Today. I did Kelly.
You like doing the morning radio?
No, I'd never done Stern.
That was the first time?
Mm-hmm.
What did he come at you with?
Nothing.
He was nice?
Yeah, he was. I really liked him.
He didn't ask lurid questions?
A little bit, but not anything too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really,
You're pretty well documented.
I mean, yeah, it's not like I got a lot of secrets or, closets in my, or attic. What's it called? What's that? Secrets in your closet? Closets
something.
in your attic?
Yeah, I don't know.
Attics in your asshole?
Skeletons in the closet?
Yeah, that's it. I don't have a lot of those. I pretty much, yeah, you're right.
You didn't kill a man. You copped us leaving with Tom Rhodes.
That's why paparazzi isn't that bad with me. I never have it be that bad because it's like I talk about everything I do, so it's.
But also, you're sort of like the way you handle celebrity in terms of how you handle celebrities is pretty. You're pretty. You don't cut them much slack. So I mean, the paparazzi must feel like you're a kindred spirit on some level.
I'm sure they do. They think that. Yeah, I think they think like I'm on their team, maybe.
Right. Yeah. She's one of us.
Because
don't
if they
bother
take a
her.
picture of me, if I'm coming out of a restaurant or something, and I'm like, you know what, you guys, like whatever. If I say, could you please just not take a photo of me? It's not like no one cares.
I don't think I've seen any. My girlfriend's sort of a gossip head. I guess when you were out in public with 50 Cent, that was the most I saw.
Yeah. Well, that's the last time I'll ever date a famous person. Seriously, because I realized that I was like, that's not going to work for me.
How long did you date him?
2 months.
Was it how'd you meet 50 Cent?
He came on the show. That's how I meet all my men.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
and then
much.
It's like a spider's web?
Well,
You're
I'll just be like,
you're
oh,
here.
that guy's hot, book him. But no, that's not actually how I meet all my men. But he came on the show, and then he was like, sending me flowers, and I thought it was just funny.
Yeah.
It was funny. He's a sweet guy. He really is. He's not anything like you would imagine, He's kind of like very...
Did he show you his scars?
Yeah, I saw his scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them, right?
Well, we had sex, so I pretty much saw everything that he had. Do you understand what sex is?
I do. I understand.
Yeah.
You inserted his penis into your vagina.
Oh, I didn't insert it myself.
He helped out.
I think so.
Kind of mutual coming together of penis
Yeah,
and
it
vagina.
was basically, yeah. It was, it's like in biblical terms.
How was that sex on a scale from, Tom Rhodes to, the best sex you've ever had?
It was good. I mean, it was fine. It was, it wasn't the best sex I've ever had, but it was good sex. I mean,
Yeah.
I liked him. It was fun. It was like a fun little, like.
Had you dated a black man before?
Yeah, in high school I dated one.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a couple maybe. I went through a black phase.
You did?
But then I came back, and then I really wasn't into black guys, and then I kind of like black guys.
Is there a big difference?
But I like all men. Like, I just kind of find a lot of men. I don't have a type at all. That's the thing.
What about? But how about insecure, angry Jews? Anything?
I don't like angry.
Oh.
Insecure is really big, like is a big turnoff, but most people are able to cover up insecurities with other behavior. So it's hard to find out someone's insecure until you really get to know them. Insecurity can kind of manifest itself in so many different ways, but when it's blatantly on the table, it's almost more acceptable than trying to cover it up with a bunch of
Doesn't
nonsense.
everyone cover up insecurity? I mean, you're a comedian. You're telling me you're not insecure. You're not hiding some sort of, fear. You're not overcompensating somehow.
Well, I'm sure I'm overcompensating for something, but I'm not very fearful. I mean, what are you fearful of?
That's a good question. Usually it's just tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't have that. Are you on medication?
No. I've gotten a lot better with it. I have anxiety, sort of dread. Like if I have to know, if I used to be like, I know I'd have to do something big a week away and be like, oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem
I have anxiety sometimes. Yeah. I sometimes have anxiety about my life. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. Like, what if I screwed this up? What if
right.
Like that. I went. Last week we were in New York City and we went to a friend's apartment and. You know how people live in New York. It's just completely, you're a grown up and you're living in a shoebox.
Right.
We're at my friends and it was like, it was like a wonderful night and everyone, it was a bunch of us over and we were drinking wine and eating cheese and it was like, it was like one of those little like kind of special things. But I was looking around this place and it's this perfectly charming apartment, in the West Village.
It would fit in your kitchen.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't ever live like this. Because I'm I honestly can't because that gives me anxiety. I wouldn't be able to be like as happy as I am even though you think I'm angry, I wouldn't be able to be as. I like luxury. I really like nice things.
Let me rephrase it.
Some people don't care about that.
Well, I think the people that don't care, a lot of them have never experienced it. Because even when, I grew up, upper middle class Jew, we had a pool when I was a kid. But like, there is something about, like, I live in a little house in Highland Park, and when I was sitting there waiting for you, there were a couple of thoughts that went through my head. It was like, wow, this is really fucking nice. Maybe I should make money more important to me. And then there was the other thing. Is like, is she making me wait on purpose? She's probably in the house and just wants to rub this in my face.
No, I would never, ever behave like that. The minute I heard you were here, I came over. I didn't know what kind of thing this was. I didn't know if you needed to set up. I didn't know you were literally walking around with 2 microphones.
Yeah, that's how I do it if I do it on the road. I don't do this for anybody. I only do this for rare occasions.
You. No, I'm obviously very grateful. And that's the one thing that sometimes I get anxiety about is like, okay, how do I keep this going, and how do I not screw up, and how do I, because not everything is going to be a success. You're going to have stuff that doesn't go well, and there's always people that are going to obviously can't stand you.
But the show on E is solid. I mean, right? I mean, you were in for a while.
The show on E is solid. The After Lately show is solid. The NBC show's ratings have gone up, which is good because it started out rough. I wasn't in the beginning. I mean,
why?
Because it's a sitcom, and I hate sitcoms. It's cheesy, and it sounds fake, and it's not fake, but it sounds fake.
Are they your writers? I mean, did you choose them all?
No. It's a total world. It's a separate world. I'm involved in it. I'm not as heavily involved in it as I am with my other shows, After Lately and Chelsea Lately. Obviously, yeah, Chelsea Lately's solid. We're moving to a new stage, and that's great, but it can still get better.
Yeah. Well, what are your feeling? What bothers you about it?
About what?
I mean, if
are you there, Chelsea? The NBC show?
No. Let's start with all the shows. With Chelsea Lately, like, if you think it can be better, what is it that you're not doing?
I don't know. I mean, we just want to, and it needs another pump. Like we get great ratings, but they're the same. It's plateaued. It's stayed the same for like the last 6 months. We get the same like numbers.
You hit a ceiling.
Yeah, no. I don't think we hit the ceiling. I think there's a lot more room for growth. But we just have to do like a new campaign and just make the show. Now, when we were filming all 3 shows together, Are You There, Chelsea, and After Lately, and Chelsea Lately, it was like nothing was getting my full attention because you're just running around like literally working on 3 shows, which is, executive producing them and being in them is like, you're working all the time. And obviously it's the dream come true. It's not like I'm complaining about working, but you just don't have time to make everything the best it can be. And obviously my first and major foremost priority is Chelsea Lately. So now that I have this time, I want to get it to the next level. I know it's popular. We do well every night.
You want to compete with the other late night shows?
Well, we already do.
No, I know, but you want to get 1.5 million, 2 million.
Yeah. I want to get the next.
Right.
I want to get it up, and it can be, and it's just. And it's a matter of having my full attention.
But do you think it does have anything to do with the network, or you think that?
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's E, so it's yes, but that should now in the landscape. No, people now everyone know. 4 years ago, people didn't know the show.
Right.
Now everyone, at least whether you watch it or not, that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just about getting it to having 1.5 million viewers a night instead of 1 million. You know what I mean? Like you want to get it. I mean, we beat the guys in the demos every night, but I'm not even competing with those guys because people. I mean, it's not that same kind of show. It's a different show.
It is
altogether.
It's its own thing.
So when people are always like, "Oh, you're the only woman in late night," it's like, well, yeah, but it's not like Jay Leno and I are like comparing numbers every day.
He is.
Jay is. Yeah, he probably is. Jay.
Yeah,
Jay was on an episode of After Lately.
Do you guys get along?
Yeah, I get along with everyone.
Well, I don't let me rephrase it. I don't think you're angry. I think that
I'm aggressive.
You're aggressive. You're ambitious. You work your ass off. And I think you get a bad rap as being misunderstood. It's very easy to trivialize people when you just see them on TV. I think I've realized this in doing this show and a lot of the people I talk to. Is I don't think people who watch TV have a real sense of just how fucking hard work it is and just how much of your life it eats up. So they just react to you.
It's time consuming. It's not hard. It's time consuming. I wouldn't qualify it as hard work. Working in television. I mean, it's pretty kind of. I mean, it's the easiest thing you could do if you have a knack for it. It's just time. You have to. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that people don't even think about.
But you telling me you don't lose your shit at work where you're like, "Fuck you, this sucks."
No, I get pissed if something's not done right, but I don't like.
Aren't people frightened of you?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, most people are scared of me, but that's just my demeanor. I mean, that's the way it's been my whole life. I'm anyone who knows me knows that I'm like a really good girl. Like,
and if they don't, you can go, I have 3 dogs.
No, I've never thought about it that way. But now that you brought it up, that is what I'm going to say. I have 3 dogs.
How bad can I
I'm
be?
Ellen DeGeneres. Don't you get it already? See, I'm not the most ambitious person in the world.
Stop it.
Well,
maybe in your top 5.
I'm not, really. I'm lucky. A lot of things come to me, and I have a way of making them work out. I'm not the most ambitious. And if you watch my show and see all the people around it and see all the people that I put on my shows, you can tell I'm not in dire need for the spotlight all the time. The reason why the show's a success is because there are comedians who, by nature, who want to be the only person speaking, having to share a stage with each other.
But that's your gift, is taking the spotlight back aggressively when needed.
Well, yeah, I can do that, but I don't have a need for it. I like to make if I had a need for that, I'd be starring in my own sitcom. I'd be doing everything I could. I mean, I try and do as little.
But you don't want to do that. I think you took like sort of a secondary role, and that's the way to go, right?
Right. Well, I mean, right. But if I was super ambitious and was that in love with myself, I would have done it myself.
Right. How are you
First of all, it's
correcting
not
that show?
physically
I mean,
possible.
if you're unhappy with the way what started.
Well, no. I mean, it's already done. We filmed all the episodes, but they get better each week. And last night was a really good episode. I was really pleased with it. The first couple episodes was hard for me to even watch. I mean, I didn't watch them on TV actually, but when I was editing, I edit them and stuff. I was just like, God, it's just such a different landscape. It just seems so cheesy.
Yeah.
And with the laughter, people think it's a laugh track. It's not a laugh track. I was in the sound booth, like arguing with, I've been there, I've done it. It just sounds awful. And it's so far away from the stage. It just sounds canned. So to me, I have a huge issue with that. But other than that, Laura's gotten really good. The girl who plays me, and the show,
Well, Lenny's good. I like Lenny.
Lenny's great. And the show last night, like I laughed out loud a few times, and the next few episodes, and the rest of the episodes are all good. It was the first couple ones that I was like a little bit nervous about, because the pilot you shoot way before you even shoot the series. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that was, that
Funky.
I couldn't even like get through. I was like, oh my God. And then, but it got, it's gotten really good. And the numbers went up this week. And so it's good, and I think actually it will do well.
When did you come out here? How old were you?
19.
So you didn't go to college; you just split.
I went to like a semester
And that was
at
it?
community college, and I was
Okay.
like, "This
In
is
New
a
Jersey?
disaster." Yeah,
Oh,
County College of Morris,
Morris.
and I took Russian history.
Wow, where the
I
fuck
know.
did that come from?
I don't know. I'm a big history buff.
Are you?
Yeah, only but weird history, like Russian history. I'm fascinated with.
Why?
I don't know. I'm reading Catherine the Great right now, and I'm just like fascinated by ancient, Egypt, Russia. Not my own ancestry, like other ancestries. Actually, I probably am Russian though, since I'm a Jew, and my dad,
Yeah, somewhere Eastern
Somewhere.
European
I'm
mud
sure
of some
I'm
kind.
something. I'm
So you're
probably
fascinated
Hungarian.
with ancient royalty of some kind.
Yeah, I am. That fascinates me. I just can't believe people got messages to each other.
Yeah, oh, and
like,
how
without
long it would
phones.
take?
Like how long?
Oh,
It'd
my
be
God.
Like I'm reading this in
What were they
Catherine Great,
doing in
overthrew Peter, and she basically just everyone finds out by messenger. They're like, your new empress will be Catherine the Great, and there's no text messaging.
Right, so
how
there's
do
like
these
a
people-
3 or 4 week layover.
And they don't even have a fucking rotary phone.
Yeah.
You're just like, what the fuck? And,
People
and
just
in the
waiting.
same day, things are happening.
I know.
I just don't understand.
What are they doing?
They're by a horse. I mean, I just find it, and I love those old Jane Eyre and all that stuff. You watch it and you're just like, oh my God, this is so.
Do you like that? What is it? The something Abbey? The
Down. No, I'm dying to see it though, because everybody keeps talking about Downton Abbey, right?
Downton Abbey. My girlfriend's hooked.
What does your girlfriend do?
She works with autistic kids.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and she likes
You
to.
should introduce her to my friend Jenny McCarthy. She loves autism.
She loves it.
No.
Okay, so you came out here when you were 19, and you were just bouncing around. Did you have an agent, or were you just
No,
like?
I was
deaf?
just waiting tables, just being an idiot, drinking and partying and having fun and
doing comedy.
No, I didn't
Not
start
even?
that till I was like 21.
And you
then
started out here?
Yeah, I started in LA.
That's
I was
hard.
never a New York comic, and that's probably why people don't.
And that's
think I'm
probably why I
comic.
didn't know you. Like
And
you weren't on
then-
my radar.
Yeah, and then everyone thinks I got a job because I'm pretty or something.
There were
Not
some
that-
rumors around that you were going out with the head of E because of.
Yeah, we were after the show started, not
Yeah.
when the show. That's not how I got my show. And everyone who says that is so stupid, as if that's how Hollywood works. I mean, really, you get a show on the air, and then my books. Did he produce those too?
Right.
Does he do my stand up tour? I mean, it's so stupid.
I agree.
And we dated after the show began,
Yeah.
not before.
So you've gotten that before. You've heard that before.
Oh yeah. I mean, it used to be like I used to like not even acknowledge it because it was so stupid. And then after so much time has gone by, it's like with all the success and everything that I've been fortunate enough to have, you're like, do you really think one man who does it like is responsible still for this? What are you talking about? Is he selling my tickets for arenas? Like, what are you? Is he out there? Like, who is
Isn't that
this
weird?
man?
I think that's a fundamental.
And I lived with him for 4 years, by the way. Like, you can't fake it for that long. And if I was going to sleep with someone, first of all, to get a job, it wouldn't be on the fucking E! Network. Yeah. Hello? Why don't we start there?
But it's it's like fundamental sexism to
As
after.
if, I mean, it's such an insult. Like anyone who
I know
knows me,
because like you,
I'm
obviously
so,
the show's
like,
a success, and you've written these books and you do stand up, but they're like, is that one?
I know. I mean, it's like, come on. Thanks a lot for all the credit. And
do you think that's sexist?
By the way, if I had
that attitude towards you?
Sexism is bullshit to me. I don't even buy into that anymore. I mean, men and women are equal, and that's that in my mind.
Are you guys still friends, or is that
Ted?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we're friends. I mean,
ended badly.
Well, I just left
Yeah.
one day. I had
right.
it.
Really?
Yeah. It was good for a long, like 2 years, and then
Yeah.
the last 2 years were a bit rough.
Yeah.
So I just got up and literally walked out the door one morning and
That's
never came
brutal.
back. Here's
Yeah.
my brother, Roy.
Hey, Roy. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
I'm Marc Maron. Nice to see you.
Mark, what's up?
We're doing a
much.
radio show. That's on iTunes. Will you go buy it?
You can get it for free. WTFpod.com.
How do you make money if people can get it for free?
I've got a plan, Chelsea. It's not a swimming pool plan, but I do okay. I mean, I'm up to my neck in cat food, and I just had my deck painted. So why don't you fucking back off? I mean, this is how real people live.
You're obviously very angry. about
How
my
did you
house.
sense that I would be angry? I'm not angry at your house. I like your
You're
house.
angry because you keep calling me angry, so you're obviously projecting your anger onto me.
How's that feel?
You used the word angry like 18 times, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is angry.
I'm not.
We should not have done this at my house if this was going to be the result. If your anger was going to be manifesting this.
What do you mean? I think we've had a perfectly pleasant conversation.
No, we totally have.
I'm not unhappy. I'm not angry.
No, I'm not. I know you're trying. You're probably a lot less angry than you used to be. That I can tell.
Yeah. Do you have any memories of how I used to be? You can't even remember we did
No,
a show
I'm
together.
just saying. I mean, I know your name.
Yeah.
I mean, I never knew you.
I feel like I know you, but you're on television.
Well, you probably do know me much better than I know you because you know.
Because you're Chelsea.
'Cause I'm
Handler.
myself.
A lot of times I call you Chelsea lately, like it's your last name.
A lot of people think that is my last name, actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah, people think like I'll go into hotels and be like, "Hello, Miss Lately." I'm like, "You've got to be whose name is?"
Isn't
Lately?
it weird? But it's so
But
so
as if
catchy.
that's- as if that's-
It's a testament to the brand, though. I'll tell you that's your show. And like I'd say like I'm going over to Chelsea Lately's house. I'm like, oh fuck, that's not her name.
Maybe
Handler.
I should change my name to Lately. It's got a good ring to it.
So
or
what-
later, Chelsea later.
Well, maybe
Later.
that'll be the second show. That'll be on a smaller cable network.
Chelsea later.
when things
Latelier.
start to when things start to fall apart,
Yeah.
it'll be Chelsea later.
I remember coming up with the title of that show actually on the PCH when I was with my friend and they were passing around titles and I was like, of the show, like the network was trying to think of titles and I was with my girlfriend and I was like, what about Chelsea Lately? And then that was it. Yeah.
So what's amazing is that a lot of the comics that you've been very good to comics. I mean, comics who are on your show can sell tickets.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And those tours are going well.
For the comics?
Yeah.
I don't
mean,
know.
don't you never go on them? Don't you guys, or do they just package them as Chelsea comics? You don't ever go on those with them?
I only, when I was on tour, did I bring people, from the show.
Who usually opens for you?
I always switch it around from people on the show. Like, I just.
They must be fucking thrilled.
Oh, yeah, of
You're
course.
like
Are
the
you
queen
kidding?
bee.
Oh, they love it. I mean, I hate the road though. I mean, I literally had to do 2 books back to back, so I went on the road for like 2 years straight, almost every weekend.
Now, isn't the latest book edited book? I mean, is it
Lies that Chelsea Handler told me is written by all the people at work.
I mean, you make a lot of fucking money on books. That's not easy.
Listen, I had no idea you could make that kind of money on books.
When you wrote the first book, I mean, it
My
kind of
girlfriend's new book's coming out, Sarah Colonna, Life as I Blow It, so people need to go buy that. Don't edit that out. It's really funny.
But people, when you wrote the first book, you weren't as big. You were not a huge act, right?
No.
It sold on the title, and chicks digged it. What was the thing?
Well, my first book wasn't like number one. The next book came out. My Horizontal
That's the
Life
second
was
book?
the first book.
Oh,
that
right.
it did fine, but it was like nobody knew who I was. But it was.
you wrote that when you were just a stand-up.
Yeah, I wrote that before.
And you
I was
got
on
a
Girls
deal.
Behaving Badly. That show,
Right,
Girls
right,
Behaving
right.
Badly.
And that did pretty well for itself. So people saw you as someone who
Yeah.
could sell books.
Well, no, I mean, I just came up with this book idea, and I remember my girlfriends were one night are like, your stories are so ridiculous, like you should write them in a book. And I didn't even graduate from college. I'm like, I can't write, but I'm a huge reader. I read like as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And so I was like, actually, I guess I could write it, and I did.
Yeah.
And David Sedaris, I'd read all of his books, and I
yeah,
was
he's
like, well,
funny.
if you can just write disparate essays, that have no kind of
Right.
like
Why
really beginning, middle, or end.
So you wrote that all you write them all on your
Oh
own?
yes, of course. I write everything myself. Everything.
That's great.
My stand-up, my books, everything I do myself. The show, the writers, do
Sure.
a lot.
You
But,
can't
and
do
I
that. You can't pull
riff.
off a daily show.
Well, you
on
can
your own.
actually on that show. You can do whatever the hell you want because it's like, I mean, half the time I just, you can. I mean, you're improvising
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going to happen or what people are going to say. But that's what I like, as little preparation as possible.
Yeah, because it seems real and it's raw and it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're over scripted. So that's why it must be a challenge to deal with that sitcom.
Well, that's horrible too because like even movies I'm doing, like when I go on sets, I always improvise. I always paraphrase. Like I have to make it my
Right.
own. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm doing any real acting. I'm just playing myself in a movie.
Are those beehives?
No.
It's just the top of the driveway over there.
Where?
Those white things sticking up right up there. Right there at the top of the hill.
Those are that's furniture.
Oh, okay. Wait,
So-
wait, is that your property?
Yeah.
Have you ever been up there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a table?
It's like it was here when we got here. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. It's like a structure. There are like two benches and I don't know what the hell. I've never sat up there. Actually, no, I did. I had breakfast up there once with.
It's a long walk for breakfast.
It is. It's a pain in the ass to get up there. That's why we never get up there. The dogs go up there though.
So no kids, no marriage?
No. I'm not having any kids.
Are you going to get married?
I don't think so.
So wait, now you got a boyfriend now or what?
No, I'm single.
Are you really single? Mm-hmm. When you date people, do you lock in and date for like one person for a long time?
Yeah, I don't cheat. I'm not a cheater. I don't like that.
But you don't like date one guy 1 week and then another guy another week?
No, I mean I don't really date a lot. I mean I usually have a boyfriend and then I don't have a boyfriend for a significant amount of time, like, a few months, and then I go in and I'll start something
Is
up.
there a similar theme to why your relationships fall apart?
No.
All right.
No, I'm just not, I like the idea of a relationship, but, that's just another component that I'd have to deal with. It's very time consuming, a relationship. My last relationship was extremely time consuming. And
Why?
it was really,
'Cause
really hard for me to focus on anything at all because it was constant. Because he lived in New York and I lived here, and it was just constant traveling back and forth and flying there and meeting each other here, and it was just exhausting.
Yeah.
But I prefer a long distance relationship because I don't really want to deal with somebody on a daily basis. I don't have enough time I like to be alone, even
You
though
do?
I surround myself with people, I like to be alone within that kind of environment. So, but that relationship kind of took the wind out of me. I was just like, oh my God.
Was he a civilian?
Yeah.
Normal person? Not in
Not-
show business?
No, he's not in show business.
Oh.
Although I bet he wishes he was, but
Was that a problem?
no. I don't know. He was a normal person, but, well, I wouldn't say he was a normal person, but it was just too much. It was just like exhausting. It was just too much all the time.
Right.
And it was draining. It drained me from my career, drained me from my work. I would be like, I wasn't focused on everything because I was constant. It was just stressful.
How long did that go on for?
I don't know, like 9 months, I think.
It's like I think the convenience of long distance is nice to not have someone in your face all the time, but then the neediness of it becomes intense.
Well, yeah, you don't know, and then you're on a different time zone, and
Yeah,
you're just
and when
like,
do you call
one person's been drinking, the other person's not. You're like,
Yeah.
why are you? What are you?
Yeah.
And then, it would be nice to have a long distance relationship with someone in San Francisco,
Right.
where it
Did
was
you
an
guys-
hour
or
away.
Did you Skype? Did you get
No,
on the
I've never
video?
Skyped anyone. I don't
You
even
never
know.
video chatted?
No, I don't. No, we don't. No, that's actually really funny though.
Why?
Because I just can't ever imagine myself doing that.
Yeah, no, you should try it. It's fun.
What with whom?
Well, the next long distance relationship you have to keep a distance.
It's weird. I don't want people to see what I'm up to at night.
Well, they don't have this. You have control over where you sit in the frame. It's not like it's just a roaming camera. You turn it on, and then there's their face, and there's
Oh,
your
that's
face.
cute.
Yeah, and then you decide how much else you want to reveal and see how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
No, not for you.
No, I think I'm just that maybe I'll try that next time. Next
Yeah,
relationship.
it's kinda nice.
I'm just kind of exhausted by relationships right now. Just even talking about that relationship is exhausting to me.
Wow.
I know. It's very draining.
So, like, what kind of fans are you dealing with? I mean, who do you find your biggest audience is? And, like, when you go on the road, or the type of mail you get, or how people react to you on the street?
Women. It's a lot of women. More men now, actually, than before. But, you know, it's all girls and moms and daughters and women. You know, it's that demo that networks love, 18 to 34 or 18 to 49. Women.
Yeah.
They buy.
And they like you because you're, like, you know, like, she says it like it is.
Because I'm probably a lot like, I mean, I'm pretty normal as far as my thoughts go. It's just expressing them isn't as common. So I think that's probably what it is. Because I am just like a normal girl. I just talk about what I'm thinking as opposed to people who kind of put a pin in it. I don't.
And do you?
I don't have an edit button. I do, but it's very like I use it very sparingly.
I think they like it because also you're raw and you're a little crass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a crowd. Yeah, exactly. I mean, people, you know, like to use the word raunchy, which I can't stand because it's in my opinion, it's much smarter than that and much more clever than just being raunchy. I mean, I know it's stupid, but it's funny stupid. And I mean, when I say stupid, I mean like, you know, it's funny that it's so stupid. That
So
it's
you
so
don't
funny.
you don't even engage in the dialogue of that you get a harder that people are harder on you because you're a woman.
No, I don't.
You don't
really
get.
care
You don't even
about
think.
that.
You
No,
don't think about
what
it.
I mean that I feel like talking about that makes it real. It's
Right.
like for me, that's never been an issue. It's like I'm not. Who cares? I mean, it's not a sex issue. There's funny women, there's funny men, and I mean, my staff is like half and half. And people are like, "Well, did you do that on purpose?" I'm like, "No. I mean, I'm a girl. It's natural for me to be around other women.
Right.
I'm not one of those like guys, girls. I'm friends with everybody. I have really close guy friends, and I have I mean, everyone on staff that I'm close with, it's like evenly distributed between men and women, and it's always been that way in my life.
I believe you that you have friends. Like you have like a bunch of people you hang out with.
Yeah, I just came from lunch with like 4 of my girlfriends.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. That's what the best part about this is that I get to take my friends.
And they're
like,
not people on the show or anything.
Yeah, a lot of them are on the show. Yeah, a lot of them are. A lot of them are from when I moved out here when I was waiting tables. You know, like 5 of my girlfriends are like we all waited tables together. Or, yeah, my friend. I mean, that's the best thing about my life is my friends. I mean, I get to go on these fucking ridiculous vacations. I get to bring all of them with me.
You took Jen Kirkman to France. Changed her life. Wasn't it France?
France.
Or did you
Australia.
shoot the show? Oh, in Australia.
Oh, right. You're friends with Jen, right?
Sure.
I love Jen.
She did my show, and she was paralyzed with fear about flying, and I think that trip.
Oh
sort
well,
of
she took a
fixed it.
Klonopin on that trip, and then I made her. When I saw what it did to her, I was like, "Can I please have 3 of those?" I was like, "What?"
You never took Klonopin
No,
before?
not before I met Jen Kirkman.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I love pills. Like I'll take anything.
Yeah. No, they're good.
Like I like drugs. You know, like Flexerol or
Yeah.
I mean that I have never taken a Flexerol, but I love like.
What does that do?
I don't know, but I keep hearing it's like the most amazing thing. I love the sensation of knowing you're going to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That,
Yeah.
Like Ambien induced. I don't take Ambien because that like screws with your short-term memory skills. But I take Xanax. Like I love a Xanax.
Yeah.
Vicodins.
And also,
are
you can
really
trust
good.
them. They're machine made. And
Yeah,
they're
I
balanced
like that. I mean, I don't like to take pills like that. You know,
I don't know where I got these. Yeah.
off the street
Right,
pills.
right,
Like
right.
I mean, of course, I'll take ecstasy and stuff for special occasions, but not from.
Still
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did on New Year's or Halloween or something.
good time.
Yeah, it was really. It's the only time I can like really dance because I can't dance. So if I have to be in an environment where I'm expected to dance, I have to have ecstasy. Otherwise, I just sit. Like I have to sit. I'll sit around, you know, in
Yeah.
a booth or whatever with friends and just kind of move around. But if I have to actually physically dance, I cannot do it.
Gotta be
without.
medicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like, you know, I don't really get drunk because. I've never really, I'm not like that. I'm not like a sloppy drunk. Like I don't get like that.
How do you get?
I just get happy and talk a lot. Like
Okay,
I just
yeah.
get more, you know.
You don't get messy. No
no,
throwing
no,
up
no,
on
no, no,
self
no,
or-
no, no. I've never been like that. I mean, you know, I maybe when I was in high school, not like now.
Do you have any friends that you're still from high school?
A couple, not really close ones, but like we email once in a while, or they have like, you know, foundations that they're working for, and then when they need a donation, I hear.
Do you kick in?
Yeah, of course. Are you kidding? Of course. I give all my money away all the time. That's why I have to work so hard.
You pay $500 for Capri cigarettes.
I know. I throw
That's
money
a
around like
charity.
it's. I mean, I have no respect for money, so I constantly am giving it away because I feel like if it's karmically, it's good to just never ever think anything's too important to not give away. So I do that all the time, but it seems to be working out.
No, that is.
It seems to come back.
Do you like spend a lot of money just so you don't have money?
No, I mean
Oh.
I have to save. I have
Yeah.
to pay for all my nieces and nephews to go to college.
Is that on you now?
Well, it's never. No one asked me to, but I would. I feel like it's.
How
my
many do you
duty.
have?
9, and they're all going, and it's all paid for.
Really?
Yeah,
They're all into college now?
No, but they all have full college tuitions ready to go.
You stacked it? You just
yeah,
created the
that's
funds?
the first thing I did with all my money.
That's amazing.
I know. It was the first thing I did was
you're-
start college funds for all of them and that to be able to go to my brothers and sisters and be like, here's your,
Right. They must be thrilled.
yeah, they are.
Oh,
No one's even brought it up though because I think they're embarrassed.
What do they do, most of them, outside of the
My
cook?
sisters, well, my brother's a CPA. My other brother, Glenn. Simone is a lawyer, and then Shoshana she's an RN, but she stays at home. She's a mom, so she doesn't want to work.
Wow. Well, I'm completely impressed and amazed. I had no idea what to expect talking to you.
How do you feel about yourself emotionally at this stage?
Well, I always feel like this. Like, you make assumptions about people because, we're in the same world.
What was your assumption about me? What did you think?
Well, my fear was that I was not going to be able to, engage with whatever was under who you are, that I see you as.
Oh, that I was okay.
Your public personality. I mean, sometimes, like when I talk to people, especially people that have something to say about everything and they've said it before, it's very hard to get on a different track. But I don't think this seemed genuine. Did it feel that way?
Yeah, it felt like it feels every day when I talk to someone.
Well, that's good.
I mean, I'm not blown away.
Yeah, sure.
No, but it was a good interview.
What was it about you? I mean, I wasn't here to blow you away. I mean, what do you want me to ask you? What questions could I have asked that would
To
blow
blow you away.
I'm sorry that, me talking about you for a fucking hour didn't blow you away. Jeez, I really failed.
Oh, you have to tone down my laugh. It's so annoying on this thing.
I'll
People
take it all
will get
out.
Really
No,
annoyed.
I'm gonna take all of the parts out that make you seem like a good person.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just make me sound like a pompous asshole with a big house
That's all. That's
that
all it's
made
gonna
you
be.
wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah. No, this is only gonna be a 15-minute interview once I cut it.
Yeah.
Is that a television outside over here covered on the wall?
That?
There's a TV there, but over there too. Is there one on the wall
Yes, that would be a television. I don't think we've ever turned it on though.
for when you want to watch? When you have those 7
Right, when
chaise
everyone
lounges.
goes there. Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea. We should have movie night and everybody sits on those lounges and we watch the movie from afar.
Floats in the pool. Does this house have any history? Whose was it?
It was Esther Williams.
Really?
Yes, it was her house.
For how long?
And
When she was?
I don't think it's the original pool though. Obviously,
I would expect her to have a bigger pool.
No.
With some choreographed women and swimming in circles.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What, she lived here as in her old age kind of thing, or she had?
You know what's sad? It's
a
like
pretty
I never-
modern house.
No, it's been redone a million times. The actual house, it's her property. I mean, I can't imagine this is the actual structure. I mean, this has been added on several times. This house.
You've got
So-
some. It looks like you have some very serious neighbors. Who are your neighbors? Do you have any big celebrity neighbors that you see walking in the?
Oscar De La Hoya lives. I think the house you might be talking about is his, but I'm not sure. I've never really met my neighbors. That's kind of why I moved here, so
To
I
stay away
didn't
from
have
neighbors.
to talk to neighbors.
Where'd you live?
Although there's a really nice old guy that lives down there.
Do you-
Sometimes,
Do you go jogging or anything?
yeah, sometimes I do actually. We go bike riding around up
Yeah.
through the hills.
That's
It's
nice.
beautiful. I mean, it's like. Beautiful to go bike riding here. We have serious bikes.
And you have an exercise room right there.
No, that's just a treadmill. We don't have an exercise room.
That's
That's
just
what
a
I was
treadmill?
thinking
Do
about.
you use a
building.
treadmill?
Uh-huh.
That's so amazing when people actually exercise at home.
Yeah. I exercise all the time.
You exercise.
I have to. I'd be a pig if I did not exercise. I would be a fucking pig. My genetics are not good.
They're built to contain fat.
Yeah. I would presume if I was not on television, I would probably be about a good 70 to 75 pounds heavier.
I think that's why people love you. I think they know that about you.
I would be such a pig, right? Chunky, come here.
All right, it's a dog interview time. I think we're good. You good?
All right, I'm good, yeah.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Thank you, Marc Maron.
All right, folks, that's our show. That was Chelsea Handler. That was Poolside. I think I did the best I could with her, and she gave me a little shit. But I you know what? She was a lot nicer than I thought she would be. I went there with a head full of judgment. As always, how about a little pow? Look out, man. Yep, you know it. Just shit my pants. Needed to after all that barbecue. JustCoffee.coop, available at WTFpod.com, as is everything else WTF Pod related. My schedule is there. The new DVD with the DVD set with the first 100 EPs is there. You can get on the mailing list. You can kick in a few shekels. You can pick up the premium app. You can get some merch. You can do all those things. Do one of those things, and I'll love you. Everything all right? I'm all right. Boomer's all right. Fucking tired, man. I was on a plane. Got up at 5. I don't need to be talking about this now.